How is everybody doing out there? This is my Raw and SmackDown review in around about 5 minutes. Week commencing the 12th of June. So it starts off with Raw. Starts off with the Miz TV, with Paul Heyman. They're basically massaging each other's ego, I'd probably say. Miz is talking about the Money in the Bank, talking about what's happening in the Money in the Bank. What's talking about what's happened with him in Money in the Bank. Obviously, he's cashed in twice, won the WWE Championship. So he's basically talking about that. And basically, Paul Heyman's like, everyone can cash in, but not on the Tribal Chief, and you will lose if you try and cash in on the Tribal Chief. Then what happens, Riddle comes out and he basically says he's going to beat up Roman Reigns and he's going to take out the Tribal Chief. But then Paul H says there's a stipulation in place: if Riddle loses, he cannot get another title shot while Roman Reigns is champion. So if he loses to Roman and SmackDown, he can't get another title shot after that. So that was that. While that happened, the Usos came up to beat down Riddle, but then there was countered by the Street Profits. It then led to a match with Jimmy and Montez Ford in a good match, which Jimmy won. Good match though. Then Seth basically said in a backstage interview that Cody is a virus and it needs to be taken out, and he had the sledgehammer in his hand. So looking like he wants to hit me with a sledgehammer again, so we'll see what happens there. But I think Cody's out with an injury, so we'll see. Then we had Dana Brooke versus Becky Lynch. Becky won by, it was a DQ anyway. Becky started beating down Dana, so Dana probably won on DQ, I believe. Then we had Liv Morgan and Alexa Bliss versus Doudrop and Nikki ASH. Good match, which Alexa Bliss won. So she's on a bit of a roll. I believe she's in the Women's Money in the Bank, I believe. Then we had KO versus Ezekiel. KO lost because he got counted out, because when they were in the midst of having a match, someone at the announcer table said about Ezekiel not being Elias, and then KO basically went, no, he's Elias, and got counted out, which is a bit weird. But anyway, then Ezekiel said he wants to be in the Money in the Bank, and next week on Raw, Elias will be there on Raw. So hopefully we should see Elias and Raw, which would be very interesting because we want to see Elias and Ezekiel at the same time, so we'll see what happens. Then it was Cedric Alexander versus MVP. MVP basically cutting a little promo at the beginning of the match saying the Nigerian giant Omos is going to be in the Money in the Bank. He's going to need to climb up one or two rungs and he'll be able to grab the briefcase, and then he'll be unstoppable, so that'd be quite interesting. It was near enough a squash match, but MVP won it. Then we had the match of the night, AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins. Really awesome match. Winner of this goes to Money in the Bank, which the winner was Seth Rollins, but it was a really good match. Definitely go and watch it. I haven't seen it. Then we had Riddle versus Tommaso Ciampa. Good match, which Riddle won. Then we had the Judgment Day basically cutting a promo on Bianca Belair, saying Bianca's catering to the fans. Stop catering to the fans, cater for yourself. Rhea Ripley stopped catering to the fans, so she's now focusing on herself basically. And they kicked out Edge because Edge was being hypocritical of what he was saying. I believe Edge is injured. I think he's injured. Somehow he's injured. That's why he's out. It doesn't make any sense. It wouldn't make any sense for him not to be there. But it's going to be Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley at Money in the Bank for the Women's Raw Championship. Then we had Gable versus Ali in a good match. Gable won. Then we had Ray versus Veer Mahan. Obviously, Veer Mahan is near enough unstoppable right now, so he won the match. Then in the end, the main event, we had Theory versus Lashley in a pose down match. Pose down match. I think Theory threw some water in Lashley's eye or something. So yeah, that was that. So on to SmackDown. At the beginning of SmackDown, Vince comes out and he says basically, welcome to SmackDown. He said it's all about the 4 words: past, the present, here, now, and forever, and together or something. But I think he's stepping away. There's been a lot of controversy going on. There's loads of rumours swirling around. I don't know what's right or what's wrong. So yeah, apparently stepping down. Then we had Riddle basically coming out, getting ready for Reigns, and he's paying homage to Randy. And we'll see what happens there. He'll be facing Reigns in the main event for the Universal Unified Championship. Then we had Corbin versus Moss in a good match. These guys have fought about 1 million times now. Moss won. Then we had New Day versus Jinder and Shanky, which was a good match, but New Day won. Then we had Drew and Sheamus have an interview in regards to the Money in the Bank, in which Adam Pearce said they both are going to be in the Money in the Bank. So that's going to be quite interesting. That'll be quite good. Then we had a Money in the Bank qualifying match, women's Money in the Bank qualifying match with Raquel Rodriguez, who just blasted onto the scene. I don't know if I think she's from NXT, but she's just literally blasted onto the scene. Has been fighting Ronda Rousey and beating everyone. She's doing really well. Versus Shayna Baszler, in which Rodriguez won. So that was a good match for her. And in the main event, we had Riddle versus Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion, the WWE Champion, the Unified Champion, the head of the table, the Tribal Chief. Had the title now for 650 something days. It was a good match, solid match, but in the end, come on now, the Tribal Chief won. Riddle went for about a springboard move, got caught by a spear. That's it, it's lights out. He did hit the RKO off a spear, which was a near fall. I knew that wouldn't pin Roman Reigns, not in the run he's on right now. So yeah, Roman Reigns won it. And after it was over, Brock Lesnar came out. OMG. Oh Lord. So Brock Lesnar's back. He wants a match. Apparently it's rumored he's going to be facing Roman at SummerSlam. So we'll see what happens there. Should be quite interesting. They've done that match quite a few times now. So I think I know what's going to happen here. Money in the Bank's on Saturday. Roman's going to face Brock at SummerSlam. Someone's going to cash in at SummerSlam. You heard it here first. You're welcome. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, and you can follow me on Instagram below. Bye.